till the lights go. Everybody wanna make millions, but not everybody been working. Everybody know they got brilliance, but not everybody been searching. Everybody rap about money and hoes, but they got neither. Everybody knows, always been keeping it real. Every time that I spit in the flow, I've been going to get it, they not gon' forget it. I've been going up, they been staying afloat. My music been personal, telling my stories. I'm telling the truth and my life been exposed. Talking to fans that we in it together. I'm never gon' turn even under the pressure. I'm keeping it true to myself. Don't matter to me if the curtains are open or closed. Everything I wanted, I got it. Always wanted more, so I never be stopping. Everyone asking when a new drop in. Pressure been building, but it's a good product. College and now I got options. Always bringing more, all these rappers take caution. Always been bossing, everybody watching. Love every fan, just know you're not forgotten, no. Everything I used to dream being real right now, now. If it wasn't working, I'ma work it out, yeah. I keep on going till the lights go down, yeah. Till the lights go down, down. Till the lights go down, down. I've been feeling alright, I've been taking what's mine. I've been running out of time, I'ma keep on going up till the lights go down. Everybody wanna be friends now, but not everybody been with me. Started with a couple hundred plays now, but not everybody saw this me. I seen it coming, it was all or nothing. I knew the future gonna give me something. I put in the time, put in the work on my rhyme. Knew all along I was shine, I'm on now. Got a long way to go, won't slow down. I've been staying up too long now. Sun coming up and I'm in the zone now. I'm doing what everyone don't now. When I'm on it won't change me. People thinking I'm crazy. Negative talk don't faze me. Focused on pleasing the people who raised me. Invest in myself, already knew the projection. Drowning in all of my wealth. Now money is people and blessings. Wishing that everyone started with millions of dollars and do what they wanted. I wonder how many would still go to college or follow the dreams and not worry about falling. It's real. Everything I used to dream being real right now, now. If it wasn't working, I'ma work it out, yeah. I keep on going till the lights go down, yeah. Till the lights go down, down. Till the lights go down, down. I've been feeling alright, I've been taking what's mine. I've been running out of time, I'ma keep on going up till the lights go down. Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online, my city don't show me no love and that's fine. Fuck local radio stations, I got more plays than all of these rappers combined. I'm going again, I've been going in, I'm fed up with so many things. I gotta just let it all out, I'm talking about the shit they've been talking about. Telling me I should do this, telling me I should do that. Telling me things about rap. Talking the truth and that stab in my back, they will knock me off track, no. Too many things have been building, been hard to deal with, I just been drinking. Remember my moves in the past, I'm wondering what was I thinking. Lately I'm living in fear, wondering what if the end is so near. All of this shit going on, the shootings are strong. One shot to the head and I'm gone. I'm losing control but I can't let it go, cause I'm trying to get more. And I've been in the moment, I've been in the zone, and I'm moving alone. I don't pick up the phone when my family call, I've been doing it wrong and I don't know what's happening. Trying to get what I just been imagining, getting close and I just been examining all of the fake shit the game has been packaging. I've been keeping real, I've been doing what I feel. I've been out here trying to kill every beat, I know I will. Everything I'm working on, every night another song. They've been quiet all along, they gon' notice when I'm gone. I come from a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job, but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box, nobody telling me what I should rock. Nobody telling me what I should drop, cause I do what I want and just know I don't stop. Recording till 4 in the morning, they snoring. I'm pouring my soul into every story. I'm writing, producing, I mix it, I master. I'm building my craft and I'm not looking back. I've been going doing things I wanna do when I want to. Everybody wanna get a win, but they not do. Everybody wanna copy you, but they not you. Everybody wanna be cool, but they not new. Whoa, look how I go, gonna be a dentist, I still got the flow. Never gonna lose cause I'm still doing both. Never gonna lose cause I've been on the road. Come to your state and I'm killing the show. Know that I'm young and I still gotta grow. Know that I'm working the most, know I'm never gonna choke. And I'm looking back down on the people below. I've been keeping real, I've been doing what I feel. I've been out here trying to kill every beat, I know I will. Everything I'm working on, every night another song. They've been quiet all along, they gon' notice when I'm gone.
Confusing which is one from the other, 'cause it doesn't mean so much in the end. I've been trying to breathe underwater.
I've been trying to breathe.
I've been trying to hide 'cause I'm scared.
I don't know what to do,
Confusing which is one from the other,
but it doesn't matter.
'cause it doesn't mean so much in the end.
It don't mean nothing. Yeah. I've been dealing with the lies. I've been busy cutting ties from all the other people who not giving me their time. And lately I've been feeling like the only one behind, 'cause I'm always giving out, but I'm never getting mine. I always kept it real and had good intentions, but people on the internet faking their friendships, trying to benefit when they see you progressing, and quick to turn their back when they on to the next one. A sad way to live, I can't ever relate, and nowadays I can't tell the real from the fake, 'cause everybody popping and everybody paid till you see their real life, and it never looked the same. I show them how I did it, I've been real authentic. I won't ever tell a lie just to boost my image, 'cause I'm good where I'm at, I don't need no gimmicks. I just put away the phone, enjoy the life I'm living, yeah.
I've been trying to breathe underwater.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Friday. Not only, listen, this is a special Friday. This is a Friday before a holiday. This is the Friday before Christmas. We can officially call it the end of the year. Man, I am super excited. Sorry for the late start this morning. We had a little bit of a family strategy session going on today. We've got a pretty important doctor's visit coming up here in a couple hours. So we are going to stream this morning, but I'm dressed to impress, which means as soon as I get done streaming, I'm getting in the car and we are headed to the hospital finally. Not for any good reason. That we can get into that here in a little bit. But I am gonna, I do have a time limit today, so get your questions in super early because we're gonna power through the questions today with everything that's going on. So real quick, this is our Friday morning AMA stream. I do have my lovely chai latte. I'll get it right. I'll stop being an American. I'll stop calling it chai tea. My chai latte. Loving it. This is our Friday morning AMA stream. We do this super early in the morning because we try to get across to everybody across the globe. So thank you to, I see some Rwanda, Brazil hanging out in LinkedIn. Drop us a chat wherever you happen to be tuned into us from, where you're tuning in from the world. We absolutely love it. As it is our Friday AMA, we do encourage you to drop your questions in chat at any point in time. We do have moderators in chat. Just a reminder, we do try to keep chat free of racist, sexist, toxic, misogynistic, otherwise elitist mentality. I think I mixed some of those up with a little bit of my dyslexia. It's okay. It's okay. Moderators are not here, however, to stifle your voice whatsoever. So we do encourage you to chat with everybody in chat with your respective platforms. Speaking of respective platforms, we have narrowed our platform list today. Due to, we've been running some tests across multiple platforms. It's quite obnoxious, if you will, to try to manage the vertical formats between TikTok and Instagram. X doesn't have a really great chat function. And so given all those things, we have kind of shrinked it back down to what we think is kind of like the core audience platform of LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. And so we want to thank you all, our loyal subscribers across all three of those platforms, for continuing to be an awesome audience. Make sure you do communicate with the folks in those respective platforms where you do build those bonds with. If you're looking for an extended place to come and hang out with us, make sure you hit that ! Discord in chat. Head on over to the Discord. This is Friday night. There will most likely be a Friday night voice chat party. I don't know what time. Maz usually heads that up, as well as a couple other community members. You can probably catch me in there poking my head around, hanging out with everybody in the crew as well. Yeah, words are hard. Words are hard, Beard Sex. So we have a doctor's appointment today. I can officially say that I hate insurance, as if it needed to be said out loud, given some of the crazy things that have happened here in the last month or so with insurance. We won't opine on that too much. Insurance continues to deny a very simple scan. And they continue to deny my doctor the ability to talk to another doctor in which to justify said scan. And so today's doctor visit is, we're going to check some blood work, which is always a leading indicator for us. So we're going to check some blood work out, since it's been a while since we had some blood work checked out. So fingers crossed for some good blood work. And then the doctor and I are going to strategize how best to move forward, given that the insurance is doing what insurance does best, and that's allowing people to not get covered by insurance. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm hoping that they discover I have blood. That would be pretty interesting. So I mean, it's been frustrating. Needless to say, like, I've got a positive attitude about it, but I can unequivocally say it's probably been one of the most frustrating things that I've had to deal with. For those who have been through it, you know, I empathize with you. I reach out to you with my thoughts and condolences. If you haven't had to go through it, it's not a lot of fun. On the plus side, I'm down 19 pounds. I'm down 19 pounds, not from cancer. That was me trying to, like, you know, be positive about it. Down 19 pounds. Swing speed's coming along. I'm swinging about 110 miles per hour. We played a tournament at Pinehurst on Monday. We played at Pinehurst on Monday. So Pinehurst is PGA level golf, right? And what I mean by that is the greens are shaped like upside down bowls, turtle shells. They're shaped like turtle shells. And so if you can't hit it in the exact right spot, and they're fast, they just like roll off to the side. Hard, incredibly challenging. It's probably one of the most challenging things I'd had in my entire life done. Incredibly challenging experience, but hell of a lot of fun. It was tied for 7th. It was still cold, and I can tell you, like, cold golf is not fun golf. I got to find a different way to handle that. So, with that being said, looks like I've got a couple questions rolling through. We're gonna try to power through this. I'm probably gonna try to sign off. I'm relying on a clock down here, probably about 9:45, 9:50-ish. We might be able to push it all the way to 10 if we got a lot of questions coming in. We'll push it as long as humanly possible. Oh, I want to give an update on broadcasting really quick. Update on broadcasting. We were supposed to do the first ever cyber threat brief this week. You notice that didn't happen. Well, that's because production things happen, right? We've always had a commitment to excellence on this stream, whether it's Jack's Tipsy Cyber, whether it was Brandon's, Daily Cyber. Anybody who's ever broadcast on this show, we've always made sure that they had to meet a minimum bar of production quality to make sure that it matched the mod team's, standards, the production team standards, my standards, your standards as an audience. And unfortunately, the team was not ready for you this week, and so we have postponed that threat brief until the production matches a quality standard that we are satisfied with. And so, with that being said, the threat brief is now currently postponed. God, words are hard this morning, Brian. Threat brief is now postponed until January. With that being said, we still have a lot of new stuff coming in January. I've secured a couple of really great guests that are going to come in January, and I finalized my speaking engagement. So pay attention really quick. If you're in and around the DC area or have the wherewithal to travel to DC, I highly encourage you to head out to Compliance Week's Cyber and Risk Summit in DC. You'll start to see some stuff on social media about it. I'll be speaking there. I'm going to do a debate style. I'm actually going to do a debate style talk with another CISO. I think it's the CISO of MIT or I got to check and see what his creds are, but I'm doing a debate style similar to like what we did yesterday with Sec Data Ops between Mike and Jeff and myself. But we're going to debate AI's role in cybersecurity, and I have opted to take the anti-AI position, which isn't too far from the truth, but I've opted to take the anti-AI position in cybersecurity, and we're going to have a debate-style format where I'm going to be debating somebody who's very pro-AI and I'm very anti-AI, and we're going to talk about AI's role in cybersecurity. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Super excited for that. So with that being said, this conference has also agreed to allow us to be an exclusive media partner. And so we'll be streaming on site. We'll be doing some interviews on site. We're going to be taking tons of social media with that. And so I'm super excited for that. More details on that to be coming. But if you're in the DC area or have the capability to go to the DC area, I encourage you to go attend that event and let me know. Let's meet up. Let's do some socializing. All right, so let's hit some questions this morning. I don't want to get too far sidetracked because Lord knows I can kind of get ADHD at times. Muhammad over on LinkedIn says, "Sir, trying to pivot into cyber from electrical engineer role. How to show what you've learned and how to search for jobs as every job is posted in CISSP and OSCP." Cool. So very typical question, right? Every job that you come from has given you skills. We talk about this pretty extensively, and I saw a post on this on LinkedIn, and I meant to copy and paste it. I may have actually done it on my phone, just not thinking about it, but we'll take a look at it here in a little bit. But they had said that, like, when you post about your job experience, don't post about your job responsibilities. Nobody cares about your job responsibilities. They care what your impact was, what the metrics were around that impact, and what the meaningful result was of the things that you had done in that role. Now, when you look at your jobs that way, almost every single one of you can answer those questions. You may not like the answer, and it may embarrass you as to the answer, and that's a different conversation to have, right? So you were an electrical engineer. Let's assume that you did typical electrical engineering roles. You read schematics, you spec'd buildings, you made sure that the load on circuit breakers and things like that were satisfactory. I don't exactly know what electrical engineer does. I'm making some shit up, but you get what I'm saying, right? And so you had impact to those things through the day-to-day workings of your job. This goes to say we've got somebody in our community who works for a gas station trying to break into cybersecurity. And we've spent time doing dedicated resume sessions with them where we talk about you are responsible for some monetary piece of that gas station's operation every day. You are being solely responsible for tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of secured revenue every single time. Right? And so you've got to be able to take a look at what it is that you're doing and find that impact that you're having on the business. And listen, be honest with yourself. If you look at it, you're like, Neil, there's no way that I can have an impact on the business. I'm just doing X, X, and X. Do you really have a job then at that point in time? Like, are you really a valuable contributor to that organization? People don't just hire you because you're nice, except for Brian. The only reason we hired Brian at INE was because he's nice. For those who don't, know Brian is in his private life, he's super nice. He may act like an asshole on stream, but he's super nice. But anyway, like, most people aren't hired because they're nice. They're not hired because, much to everybody's dismay. I'm sure everybody would really love to believe that, like, we only hire people because we like them, or because they're our friends. We do kind of expect them to do a job. When I hired Jack was my friend. I hired him in INE. I still expected him to do the job that I'd hired him to do because he brought value. And so you bring value in an organization. What you may struggle with, and I think this is what I do fundamentally believe most people struggle with when they're looking at when they're self-reflecting on their roles in a job. Their leadership and the company doesn't do a good job of helping you understand the value that you bring. That's a fair statement. You may have to struggle finding the value that you bring. You may have to ask different questions, and maybe your immediate boss doesn't understand the value you bring. That might be the right answer. But everybody here does provide value in their current workplace. You may just have to dig a little bit of it to get on your resume. If you are boiling your qualifications for a role down to whether you have a certification or not, you are failing at the job hunt process. Say that unequivocally. If you think that the only thing that makes you valuable candidate in the job hunt process is a list of certifications, you do not understand the job hunt process. Period, dot, end of discussion. Right? A job description is a list of desirable traits. I'm sure everybody here has dated, right? And I'm sure you've got a list of desirable traits in your mate or your partner that you would like to have. And I'm sure that your mate or your partner did not hit every single one of those desirable traits. As much as you tell them, you know, when you kiss them on the forehead and say goodbye in the morning, I'm sure they didn't all have them. Right? And so what you've done is you've accepted those gaps in traits and made an awesome life with your partner. That is very much the job hunt prospect. That's how that works. They may list CISSP, they may list OSCP, they may list Sec Plus. And I've said this before, and I want you all to listen to this very, very clearly. If you look at a list of job requirements and you self-eliminate because you don't have those job requirements, you're doing the hiring manager a favor. I wish I could shake your hand for taking one less resume out of my pile. Right? Because that's all you've done. If you look at a list of job descriptions and you're like, well, I guess I'm not qualified for this job. Thank you. You've just given me one less resume that I have to look at. You have self-eliminated yourself. What better way to continue to not get a job in cyber than to self-disqualify yourself? How would you like to be the person known for being unsuccessful because you refuse to give yourself any chances? Look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm proud of you for not giving yourself any chances to succeed. Go look at yourself in the mirror. I'm proud of you, Neil. You absolutely did not give yourself any chances to succeed. You absolutely denied yourself the at-bats to prove that you have what it takes to be successful. Right? When you look at it that way, you should stop comparing yourself to the job recs that are out there. Cypher Enigma with a 5-stream streak. Loving it. Love the dedication. It's good to see you. Love to see you. Make sure you use those channel points in Twitch if you're over on Twitch. Those channel points do get you a mentoring session with me when you get enough. Speaking of disqualifying yourself, I love this one from Cap Cyber. Any tips for overcoming imposter syndrome? I'm a recent grad that landed a managerial role early, but I sometimes feel out of place or that I do not deserve it. Prior to this, I only worked in technical roles. Congratulations, first and foremost. Congratulations, first and foremost. I do have a video. If somebody did we do a chat bot for imposter syndrome video? I don't remember. Yeah, thank you, Beard. I couldn't remember if we did or not. We do have a video for imposter syndrome. If you're over on YouTube, you can go find it. They just dropped the link for it in Twitch. I would unequivocally encourage you to go watch the Imposter Syndrome video. In that video, I give you 4, and this is a timeless video. Like, I don't need to redo this video because this video still holds water today. There are 4 actionable things that you can do today. You don't need any prep work. You don't need any training. You don't need anything you can do. There are 4 things that you can do today to help you with your imposter syndrome. Everybody gets it. I want to make sure that is expressly clear. Everybody gets it. I get it. Trust me when I say, like, I get imposter syndrome to this day. It does not matter. We all feel like we are imposters at some point in time in this industry, sometimes more than others, right? Fake it till you make it sounds really great on paper. When you realize that most people are actually out there faking it until they make it, you would be surprised to learn how many people fake it till they make it. Like, that is legit. Right? That is legit. Imposter syndrome happens a lot because we are putting, like, I think imposter syndrome is good. Let me just say that. I think imposter syndrome is good. It shows that you're out of your comfort zone. Being out of your comfort zone. So obviously I'm playing golf. I'm playing tournament golf. I've chosen to play in a different league than I played last year because I felt like I needed to be taken out of my comfort zone. Because the only way to grow is to challenge yourself. Right? The only way to grow is to challenge yourself. And so when you're feeling imposter syndrome, what I would argue to say is that you're feeling that growth that happens. Right? You're not sure. Things are moving fast all the way around you. You're having to contend, right, with new responsibilities, new objectives, new goals, maybe people working for you for the first time, maybe expectations that are put upon you. Those are all things that are absolutely normal with any form of career growth, whether you're entry level, managerial, director level, executive level, C-suite level, business owner. It does not matter. The entire gamut, it is real. Right? It is real. And so what I would say, like, when we get back to how to deal with it, go watch my video. There's 4 things that you can take a look at. Hey, Beard, feel free to put on whatever the sub-equivalent chat is for YouTube if we've got some trolling going on over there. Okay. Apologize to the folks on YouTube who are having to put up with some trolly shit over on YouTube. Mods are on it, doing the best they can. Sometimes I wish you guys could hear the shit that's in my ear. Go watch the video on imposter syndrome because outside of the 4 things that are listed in the video, here's what I would highly encourage you to do. Embrace it. Embrace the discomfort that comes from growth. That's the only way that you're going to do great things is to embrace that style of growth, right? I tell this story frequently, and so I'll a little bit of cyber secrets, right? I bash frequently on how social media is fake, and everybody tries to tries to present the best case of themselves. I try to be opposite of that as much as possible. And here's an example of that, right? I've never talked about how I got my first blue team role, right? So I've been doing offensive security my entire life. From before the military to being in the military to post-military when I got out in 2013. I eat, sleep, breathe offensive security, right? I was working at PwC, one of the big four advisory firms, and I was in Chicago, and I was driving out to a prospect's location to do a meeting with them for a red team engagement. I had built a business case for a red team engagement for, I can't tell you the company, obviously, it's, that's just still one of those things I can't really talk about. But, if you've ever eaten peanuts at a ball game or something like that, like that's the general consensus of where this company was headed towards, right? Anyway, I was driving out there, to present this business case to them. And my partner, and when I say partner, this was the partner who was in charge of the mini CEO, the mini business inside of PwC. He'd called me up on the way out there and he said, "Hey Neil, how's it going?" I said, "Good. How's it going with you?" He said, "Hey, listen, we've got this situation with this healthcare company in North Chicago. They got told by the board that they had to have a CISO for the first time. The CISO came in. He didn't like how their security operations team was running. They were looking for somebody to come in and help them build a security operations team up. I remember you saying that you helped with security operations stuff while you were at the Air Force. Can you tell me a bit more about that?" And I laughed and I said, when I mentioned that, what it means is that I partnered with the people who were basically, pulling in from a third-party contractor to rebuilding the garrison in-house to do all blue team activities in-house for the Air Force. Meant that I provided the counterbalance from the red team side while I worked with them, while they did all the work building the security operations center up from start on their side. And they're like, "Cool, can you write that up as experience so that we can give it to this CISO at this healthcare company for you to come in and rebuild their security operations team from scratch?" And I said, "Did you just hear me say that I don't actually have like firsthand experience doing it? I've just taught it and I've advised on it and I've partnered with people on it, but I've actually never done that." And they're like, no, it's fine. You'll be fine. Come on up here." It was a moment for me where I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision, right? I had to be put outside my comfort zone to go to a Fortune 100 company and build a blue team, build a security operations center from scratch with nothing more than the knowledge that I had in my head. I went and I got hired there and stayed there for 3 years. It was one of the most pivotal moments of my entire career. You have to be put outside these comfort zones. You have to push yourself past those comfort zones to do well in this industry. So embrace the imposter syndrome. Go watch my video and go do awesome shit. I believe in every single one of you. Robert over on YouTube. YouTube's been put into subscriber only mode. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to make a comment, ask a question, make sure you are a subscriber to the channel. That was done just because we've got some folks coming in and trolling over on YouTube. So we did put YouTube into subscriber only mode. Good morning. Have you done any videos on ageism in the industry and any strategy to deal with it? It's funny you ask about this, about ageism. I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and one of your community members chose to have dinner with me. I think he's in chat right now. I don't want to presume. And we talked about ageism. We talked about ageism a little bit. I don't believe. Let me just say this, and I'll say it unequivocally, right? I think ageism is a myth. I think ageism is a myth. It's easy to place blame on something that's on something that makes you feel insecure about how you're going about your job search. I think that if you treat ageism, I love it. Sec IT guy said it a little bit more pointedly than I think I was trying to get to. Sec IT guy goes, ageism is boomer placing blame on millennials for getting old and forgetful. I think that, like, I understand the JK on that, but I do think that ageism is, I'll call it like it is. Like, I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. I think it's a bullshit scapegoat answer because you for some reason haven't resonated with the person that you're trying to court in the job hunt process. I'm telling you, if you guys could only hear the shit that goes on in this earpiece. I do. You fight me on it. Fight me on it in chat. If you disagree with me, I absolutely would love to hear your opinions on it. You know, first and foremost, and this is what I said to the person I met in Chicago, right? Ageism is illegal. Period, dot, end of discussion. Just like discrimination is illegal, just like discriminating against hiring an employee because they're female is illegal, just because discriminating against hiring an employee because they're disabled is illegal, discriminating against an employee, hiring an employee because they have a medical condition is illegal. That is all illegal. Ageism is illegal. Period, dot, end of discussion. Equal employment has mandated that you will not discriminate based on age, race, or sex. So it is illegal. Violates the law to discriminate on age. So that's first and foremost. So if you truly believe, if you have a firm, hard belief with evidence that you were discriminated against based on age, take it to court and go get you a couple $1 million from equal employment opportunity. Because if you don't, all you have is bitter feelings because you didn't get hired. There, I said it. If you have no proof that you were discriminated against by your age, you're mad and you're whining because you didn't get hired. That's number one. Number two, if a company is truly willing to discriminate against you because of your age, is that really a company you want to go work for anyway? Right? Like some of you think that like, oh, if this company discriminated against me, I want to yell and scream at them until they hire me. Why? If they're this disrespectful to you in the hiring process, why would you want to go work for them? Move on. Go find a company that does want to hire you. Right? I don't believe in ageism. I don't. Right? I think that ageism, I think that folks who preach ageism are afraid to, Cyber FTW says it best, to look themselves in the mirror and maybe self-reflect that your self-righteous, pompous view that because you're so long in the tooth in this career, you didn't get a job. How dare they turn you down? I've got a guy that I'm coaching now. Bless his heart. You know, he's trying to get a job. And he's applying to some junior level roles, even though he's got well over 20 years of experience in this space. Right? And so he gets turned down for a help desk job. And he's like, They just don't want an old guy like me in there in the help desk. And I said, stop with that right now. I said, that's not what it is. What it is that they know that you are just going to leave as soon as the market gets better. And can you blame them? They made a strategic decision that says they don't want to risk the turnover when the market gets better because they know that you'll go get a job somewhere else for 4 times more. Right? That's the problem, is that some of you take rejection a little too personally. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Some of you take rejection far too personally. You think that being rejected, and I see this all the time with folks who I mentor, folks who book time with me on TopMade, folks who are in my coaching program. I see this all the time. You take it personally when you get shut down. You think it's an affront on you. You think that it's discriminatory. You think that's because you didn't have a cert. It's you, and you. When in reality, 9 times out of 10, it's not you at all. They made a decision that was best for their business, and you weren't the decision that was best for their business, but it had nothing to do with you and had everything to do with their business. Dosco says it best over on Twitch, right? If you aren't getting rejected, you're not trying hard enough. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're not getting rejected, you're not trying hard enough. So I don't believe in ageism. Pawn Tactics over on Twitch says, I recently got a lead InfoSec role doing data governance, and I've been pretty stressed out about it because I've never written security policies. I've been in IT for 5 years and cyber adjacent roles for 5 years, and I'm nervous that because of the lead title that I may let people down. Back to our imposter syndrome thing. This is normal. Again, embrace that, please. Lean into it, right? I'm like, fantastic. Like, I think the fact that you're in a data governance where you're writing policies, listen, and I've said this before, like, let me say it again. Governance, risk, and compliance. The governance part means that you are in charge. You are governing cybersecurity for an organization. You're writing policies for that entire organization. Right? You are the next step down from a CISO when you're writing policies and governing how security is run in that organization. You should absolutely be embracing that. Right? I can't even begin to say how proud I am for you for getting a role like that. Right? If I were to prioritize roles in a security organization, it is SOC analyst, GRC, security architecture, and then everybody else after that. Right? Those 3 orgs, those 3 job positions run everything in a security org. Period, dot, hands down. If somebody were to ask me the 3 pillars of security teams, awesome security teams, excellent security operations, and I don't mean pen testing, I mean defending the enterprise as a SOC analyst or an incident responder, it is a well thought through governance, risk, and compliance program that governs all aspects of cybersecurity organization. And it is a security architecture function that can work with the business to guide them on how to make security a part of their day-to-day in everything that they do when they're building IT systems. Like those 3 things, you would have a rock solid, unstoppable security program in 99% of the organizations that exist out there. I view system hardening and security architecture, Cap Cyber. Security architects, right? Remember, security architects, if for those who aren't aware of security architects, What they're doing is they're taking the policies, they're taking industry best practices, and they're working with the business to design new systems. When Doug Simpson, if anybody wants to tag him on LinkedIn or anybody wants to go research him on LinkedIn, Doug Simpson was my security architect buddy at Abbott. And he and I worked together like it was Thelma and Louise, sans the car driving off the cliff at the end of the movie, right? Or was that Bonnie and Clyde? Whatever it was, right? We were battle buddies at Abbott. And it was Neil, how do you defend against this type of thing? Okay, let's go out and let's try to convince the business and let's work with the business to what they need to do to build manufacturing sites that were built securely from the ground up. Okay, let's take the gold image for desktops and servers. How do we make a better gold image? Back to your point about system hardening. How do we go work with the business to ensure that the gold image not just is right this time, but they have a process where they're looking, for new vulnerabilities. They're running vulnerability scans on the gold image. They're then taking that gold image, putting it into circulation, patching and updating the machines on a regular basis, and then checking the gold image on a monthly, quarterly, whatever the basis is to get that stuff back out there. No, system hardening is absolute. I have tons of love for system hardening. That's exactly what a security architect is there for. Security architects are fantastic roles in an enterprise. Great security architects. I'm working with a CISO now. For those who don't know, I've been doing a lot of talent stuff on the side. I'm helping a CISO hire for some roles. I'm constantly looking for roles to assist with CISOs in hiring. We're in the fight to look for a really, really good security architect because he understands just how pivotal that security architect role is. So absolutely, lots of love for system hardening. It's called being security architecture. Lots of love for so back to your question, right? This, when you talk about letting people down, just don't. Right? Just be awesome at your job. Go forth and make sure that you are putting forth your best foot forward as much as possible and doing awesome work. Like I do fundamentally believe that you didn't say anything. Like you didn't say in here pawn tactics, P2W tactics, P2W tactics. You didn't really say any in here why you think that you're going to let people down. You just have a self-imposed limitation that you've imposed upon yourself that says you're afraid to let people down. You're doing it to yourself. Nobody else is. You didn't say, hey, I've been put on a PIP because I failed to do these 5 things. You didn't say the CISO came down and chewed out my throat because I didn't do this thing right. What you said is, I'm afraid I'm going to let people down. So don't. Don't be afraid. If you let somebody down, pray, hope that they respect you enough to tell you that you let them down so that you can fix it. But until you let somebody down, you should go in there fearless. Do you know the power of a fearless employee? A fearless employee, an employee who is not afraid that you're going to yell at them, not afraid that you're going to discipline them. And I don't mean that you don't have the spine to discipline them. It's that they afford you the opportunity to make mistakes. An employee who is fearless that they can push the bounds of an organization, that's powerful. That is immensely powerful. Right? And so what I would encourage you to do is, unless you have an organizational reason why, man, you should be powering through in the most fearless fashion possible in your day-to-day job. Go out there and do awesome things. You will not know what you are and aren't capable of until you execute without fear. This is something I'm learning in golf, by the way. I have caught myself making more mistakes when I hyper focus, over rotate, and over criticize everything I do about my golf swing because I'm afraid of making a mistake. You make more mistakes. Mark my words, take it to the bank. You make more mistakes with self-doubt than by being bold. Hands down. And so if anything, I would just encourage you, be bold. Be bold. Go out there and do awesome stuff. What are your thoughts on focusing on GRC and more specifically becoming hyper specialized on PCI DSS? Excellent strategy in both cases, right? And here's the reason why. It's not that I think that GRC is up and coming, and it's not that I think that PCI DSS is the next hotness, right? Strategically speaking, GRC is in every organization. As a matter of fact, there's probably more opportunity in GRC. If we were to talk about businesses from a scalability of size, if you talk about like a mid-scale enterprise, and I know it's weird to think about, mid-scale being like $5 to $10 billion of revenue, right? That's what we mean by mid-scale businesses. Those companies don't typically have the money to in-house a security operations team. They will oftentimes pay for an MSSP like SecureWorks or BlueVoyant or, Sideris. This is not a advertisement for any of them. They're just random names that I pulled out of the marketplace. So not an endorsement for any of them by any stretch of the imagination. But they will oftentimes pay those organizations to do the frontline security operations team because headcount is the most expensive item on any P&L. Like, if that's not blatantly obvious, headcount is the most expensive item on a P&L. And so they'll outsource their SOC to an MSSP, but what they won't outsource is the GRC component. They'll oftentimes have people in-house because those people in the GRC role understand the business and they understand the business context of the decisions, the risk decisions that are being made in an organization. And so GRC is definitely a little bit more outlasting than security operations roles in mid-cap, small-cap type enterprises. When we talk about PCI DSS, so for those who are seeing this acronym and they're like, what the freak is PCI DSS? PCI is payment card industry. The DSS is the data security standard, right? And so PCI DSS is the governance model for the payment card industry that says if you store, transmit, or process credit card transactions or credit card numbers or credit card information, you must adhere, you actually must be certified to these PCI DSS levels, and there's various levels inside of PCI DSS. I was a former QSA. I've done hundreds of PCI DSS pen tests and worked with tons of organizations. I spent a lot of time in the fintech sector. Anytime you have an opportunity to align yourself with a mandatory compliance standard, you have a job for life. Well, you have a job for as long as that compliance standard exists, right? And so if you align yourself, and this is why, CMMC, right, for the DoD sector, right? There are folks out there who are standing up consulting companies to help subcontractors to the government achieve their CMMC because based on the amount of money that they sell in services and product to the government, they're mandated to adhere to CMMC, which is effectively a NIST-style compliance framework that says thou shalt do these things to be secure in an organization. Right? And so you'll have a job for a really, really, really long time when you align yourself to some type of standard like that. And so if your strategy, Kez, is a focus on GRC and more specifically becoming hyper-focused on PCI DSS, if that really intrigues you and you have a passion for that, 10 of 10 supports. I think that is a fantastic career strategy for yourself. Can't wait to hear more stories about how you succeeded in life. Localhost 443 says, hey, I got my master's degree in information systems security. Wow, master's degree. And I want to do pen testing. What are the career choices that would lead to that if I don't manage to get into it directly? And what would you tell me about bug bounty? Congratulations on getting your master's degree. Hopefully you didn't get it because you thought that would accelerate your career. Don't take that as me bashing it. That's just typical Neil cynicism. So take it for what it's worth. It's just Neil cynicism. Everybody wants to do pen testing. So first thing and foremost is I would take that master's degree in information security and I would go augment it with some business and understand supply and demand. And understand that so long as there is more supply of available penetration testers than there is demand, you have a very, very long road ahead of you. There is no singular career. Let me say that again. There is no singular career that will be a feeder into a pen testing job. Period, dot, end of discussion. You either get lucky enough and you get it directly, or you work really, really hard and you get adjacent to it. And when I say adjacent to it, any career in cyber can move into pen testing. Any career in cyber can move into pen testing. Pen testing is not a uniquely skill set type of job that you can't go from GRC to pen testing. Anybody who tells you otherwise is gatekeeping. I said it. I said it out loud for the world to hear. Anybody who tells you otherwise is gatekeeping. Right? Bug bounty has proven that. Since you asked my opinion on bug bounty. I've said this before, I think there's a TikTok out there, or there's a video on YouTube Shorts that talks about this. The easiest way everybody who hears my voice today can get into pen testing. You want to know how to get into pen testing? You want to know how to start doing pen testing? Anybody today can technically have a job on their resume for pen testing. Let's all go out there and become pen testers on our LinkedIn today. Ready? Here's how you're going to do it. You're going to go to HackerOne and you're going to go to BugCrowd and you're going to sign up for accounts. Completely free. You need zero experience. They do not vet you. They do not vet your experience. Go sign up for those accounts today. Start working on bugs in those respective platforms. What does it mean to start working on bugs? Well, you have to be told what the scope is. You have to run scans against a target. You have to identify vulnerabilities. And then you have to attempt to exploit those vulnerabilities. Is that not the definition of pen testing? Is that not the definition of pen testing? And so by that very definition, every single one of you can become pen testers today with that step. But Neil, that's not as sexy as going to work for this company. That's not what Leet Sauce Hacker Joe over here told me to go do. Hold on. Oh, I love this. Localhost exemplifies says, but can I call it pen testing if I find no bug? Do you think that every pen tester walks away from every engagement successful? If you say yes, you have a misunderstanding about the industry. If you ever come across a pen tester who says they've never been successful, they're either a failure as a pen tester or they're lying to you. So what happens if you don't find a bug? You're just like every other pen tester out there. Penetration testing means you are testing for the ability to exploit a vulnerability. That's it. It doesn't say find a vulnerability. It doesn't say find a way in. It doesn't say find root. It doesn't say find domain admin. It's not domain admin testing. It's not only if you get shell are you successful testing. It is, have you attempted to validate if something is exploitable by an attacker? Right? Most of you are skeptical because you're like, Neil, this isn't what some internet celebrity told me. This isn't what some Udemy class that I paid $25 for told me. That's because some of you are looking for glory and not thinking about the job market the way that the job market is built. All right? Everybody can be a pen tester today. Everybody. And I think this is what's so frustrating about this conversation around ethical hacking, right? Bug bounties have created a world where everybody can be a bug bounty hunter. Everybody can be a pen tester. Like when we talk about supply and demand, right? As soon as they gave you a website that you can sign up for and pen test for free, right? That's what you're doing. You're volunteering to pen test for free to get experience. That's the other thing that most of you aren't willing to look at. You are getting experience doing bug bounties. You're getting experience running tools. You're getting experience reading scopes. You're getting experience trying to solve problems that a pen tester has to solve. And yes, if you find something, you're getting experience writing a report. Right? Like this is all real world experience. And some of you are too afraid. Some of you are too afraid to step out of your own way to do it. When in fact, every single person who hears my voice can go out and do it today. And you have no idea how successful or unsuccessful you will be because you're too afraid to do it. You don't even know. None of you know if you land on that website, you look at that first, maybe you're lucky enough to get the easiest app that's on HackerOne at the time, and you fire up Burp Suite or you fire up Nikto and you find a vulnerability before anybody else does and you submit it and you're the one that gets $1,000 or $5,000 or $500. It doesn't matter. Maybe you're the one that finds it because your perspective is different. But you're too afraid to do that. Look yourself in the mirror and own that. I'm too afraid to take a risk. A risk that costs you nothing, by the way. This is a risk that costs you literally nothing. So what you're saying is you don't care enough about your future career unless some influencer tells you need to do this, unless some Udemy class tells you this is the only path, the only roadmap to get to cyber, unless you pay somebody to continue to put fuel in their Lamborghini to tell you to go do steps 1, 2, 3. That's the only way that you think that there is to make it in this career. Like, tell yourself that in the mirror. Go look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that. This is what frustrates me. And I'm frustrated not at you all. I'm frustrated because this is easy. This is easier than some of you make it out to be. It's doable. This is why I believe in every single one of you, right? Is because this is 100% doable. And I believe in you. Go do awesome stuff. Since I did just get done bashing on courses, I'll push this one up there. Hey, Callie, it's good to see you, man. Hey, congratulations to Callie. So speaking of risk, and I'll use Callie as an example of this. Callie and I had a coaching session a couple weeks back as he was kind of at a junction. I give Callie a lot of shit. I'll do this question here in a second. I give Callie a lot of shit for being the worst intern, and he knows I love him for it. He knows it's nothing but just giving him a lot of hard grief about it. He's a super good dude. He's super smart. He's super passionate. He's in a disadvantaged position. He's all the way in South Carolina on the other side of the world. For those who understand the joke, and it's hard because that's a vastly different economic environment. It's vastly different culture. He's it's hard to coach across the globe like that. But he's done a fantastic job. He's done a fantastic job of pushing himself because he's looking out for his family and he's doing what's right. Well, he came to me a couple weeks ago and he was at a junction of his career where he could have taken an easy path with a lot of security, but not in the direction that he needed to go for his career field. But he had an opportunity to take a riskier path that was in line with his career field, was in line with him pressing his security goals and moving into security. And we had a very similar conversation to what I have had with you all here today, right? About risk. Right? And after some talking and some back and forth, what I left him with is that you have to want it bad enough. You have to want to take that risk bad enough because this could be your only shot. This could realistically be your only shot at taking that risk. And so we talked about it, and he went back and made some decisions. I'm happy to say Callie took the riskier path, took the opportunity to progress his career further by taking some risk. Super proud of you, Callie. You're going to do some awesome shit at your new role. That being said, we'll push that question that I had up here. What courses do you recommend, since I just got done bashing on courses, completely new to cybersecurity? So first and foremost, do not pay a dime for courses in this day and age. Like, and I'll tell my story, right? So again, I have been an instructor my entire life. My dad was a teacher, right? I learned my teaching passion from my dad. He taught high school students. He taught university. So I credit a lot of my passion for teaching with my dad. I taught for the Sands Institute for 5 years, right? I've taught, if you will, in corporate environments on numerous occasions for folks who are coming up through the ranks, for executives, things like that. I'm chief content officer at INE. I would have loved to have built courses and taught you all. I unfortunately had to do the C thing. That at Jack and I talked ad nauseum about, what content I could teach at INE, and we just never got around to it. Right. So I have a huge passion for teaching. But what I can unequivocally tell you is that courses now are different than courses when I was coming up through the cybersecurity world. And so in my day, and I hate to sound like I'm 90 years old, right? There were only a handful. There were really only 3 classes or 3 organizations that you could take content from that were worth a damn. And that's just not the case today. Today, YouTube, you can get everything you need to on YouTube. Period day. Period today. And I'll give you an example of that, right? Oftentimes when you pay somebody to learn something, you're learning something that they have discovered on their own. When you go pay a fitness instructor, you're paying a fitness instructor who can teach you something that you can't figure out on your own. When I go pay a golf instructor, it's because I've spent hundreds of hours and hundreds of swings in this simulator over here, and I've hit a rut where I can't solve a problem. Google, YouTube, TikTok, no amount of reels, no amount of short content is going to help me solve a problem. I'll go pay my instructor because he can see things that I can't see. I think that's the future of education in this digital day and age. You can go to YouTube and learn everything. You can learn every 101 thing about everything there is to know about cyber, offensive hacking, defensive hacking, literally everything off of YouTube. And you will get miles further doing that than going to pay for a class. Period. Dot. Because listen, even if you go, listen, and here's the secret sauce to content, to education content. They know they can't keep you in a classroom for 100 hours. So most of them have how long do we want to keep a student's attention for? Well, 30 hours worth of content we think is what's right for a student. Okay, well, what do we want to cover in 30 hours worth of content? Well, we can't cover so little that they feel like they're forced to pay more classes, but we can't cover so much that they don't actually learn anything. Let's teach just enough to show value and then move on to the next topic. And so what does that encourage you to do? You're going to take a course, you're going to pay some money, you're going to learn 5 minutes worth of a topic, and then you're going to go to YouTube anyway because you want to learn more. So congratulations, you've just paid somebody to give you the introductory idea of what Metasploit is. Good job. So no, Outcast, you're not paying to save time. You're paying to do what it was that you could do easily and faster on your own anyway, which was to go out and look at all the free stuff. What I would encourage you to do, right? What I would encourage you to do first is to make a roadmap. There are 401 roadmaps out there on the internet. We started to do one here on this channel, and then everybody decided oh, Neil's got a great idea. We should go make one. Anyway. Cynical. Decide what it is you want to learn. Go learn all the stuff for free. And then when you hit a challenge that you can't solve on your own, go forth and find content that fills a knowledge gap. This is where I articulate chase knowledge, not certs. Chase knowledge, not certs. You will eventually find a cert that fills a knowledge gap. Go take it. Thank you for the hydrates. I do appreciate it. I don't always think about it. You will eventually come into a cert that will fill a knowledge gap. That's a great time to pay some money for a cert. But until then, don't spend a dime. What I would recommend as general knowledge topics for everybody, networking. And when I say networking, I mean legitimate computer networking. I think the old Cisco IC&D1, IC&D2 classes for CCNA, I don't know what they are today. It's been a minute since I've taken those classes. But I think that content is ubiquitously important. GRC to SOC analyst. Business skills and public speaking. If you were looking for a foundation from GRC to SOC analyst, pen tester, bug bounty hunter, whatever, those three things, those three core concepts, pivotal to your career. They will carry you throughout. I unequivocally believe that. I don't think you need special courses. There's no secret sauce to any tool that a pen tester uses. You can get every single tool on the internet completely and totally for free. Everybody can make a course. Everybody can make content, which means that there's nothing secret or special about it. With that being said, I want to give a huge shout out. I think it was it Chris who gave me a time check in chat? True Kartoffelin. True, thanks for the time check. Thanks to my mods in my ear for reminding me of a time check. It was a short stream this morning. I do appreciate everybody this morning. There will be no stream next week. I'm going to be on vacation. So I'm going to the doctor's office today. I'm going to keep a positive attitude about the doctor's office today, and then I'm taking some well-needed time off. We're going to play golf for fun, not tournament-related next week. So make sure you hit that exclamation point socials. Tune into the socials and catch up with me while we're on vacation next week. I'll be posting on stories, chatting with you guys while I'm on vacation, loving it. When we come back, we will be streaming when we come back. So that week of the 30th, we'll be back to a regularly scheduled. And then, of course, we've got lots of content planned for January and well into next year. I want to give a huge shout out to my moderator team, as always, especially keeping YouTube in order. Give a huge shout out to the folks who tuned in on YouTube. Great turnout on YouTube, and really do appreciate seeing you guys turn out on YouTube. Nice to see the viewership over on YouTube picking up. As I go to the doctor, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it again. We had a good moderator meeting a couple weeks ago. It's been a long 2 years. As I wrap up this year, I'm eternally grateful for you all as a community, as an audience, and as friends. I do fundamentally believe in all of you, which is why I do this. This is why I come and talk to you, which is why I try to bring you content. It's because I do believe in all of you, and I want to try to give you as much information as humanly possible. And so be bold. Go do awesome stuff. Don't be scared of doing awesome shit. Walk in the room like you belong in that room with your head held high. You crushed whatever you did in 24. Make it a point in 2025 to do even better than you did last year. With that being said, whether you're on the red side or the blue side or still deciding, keep learning, and I'll see you next year.
I'm making money, so I'm building up my future self. I pay tuition cause I'm living with a double vision. I go to school and make the music, everybody listen. I don't need no clout, not what I've been thinking about. I keep it G